All right, welcome back.
Welcome.
We're here
back.
again.
Shards
and
and
Shenanigans.
Shenanigans.
Back at it.
Oh, buddy.
Back at it again with the white vans.
Yeah, White Vans, Chapter 32. We're here for you.
We are, and it's spicy.
Yeah, dude. It's a good
32, 33 is what we're covering, and we're very excited to be finally hit. And we're, as we've talked about in the past, Christopher brought it up and has informed you all what the Sanderlanche is, and I think we've made it. We're in the middle of it, so stick your ski poles straight up and hope that they reach the top because you're getting mowed over here.
Yeah, we're about to send the Shrund, buddy. We're going to huck it over the line. It's a good time out here on Sanderlanche Mountain. Want to thank the fans for coming out through all the different weather, the cold. Here we are.
Mm-hmm.
Remember to put your booties on because it's cold out there. It's real cold.
Frosty.
But that's Groundhog's Day. And this is, the Sanderlanche. So,
and speaking of coldness, in this snack, clearly an ice cream snack, we're in the mountains of Terrace, it's pretty short, not much of a snack, bite-sized, and the Lord Ruler's talking about the Terracemen's resentment of Clinium, which Clinium's the people, that's his people and where he comes from, the Lord Ruler. They are in wonder of the Cluny cathedrals, and we see some tidbits that are tying back to our current world, or 1,000-ish years in the future, to where we would be in the present with Vin and Kelsier, with the stained glass windows of Cluny and the broad halls. So I think we're seeing some ties and themes from the past and the Lord Ruler's history to what kind of the noble houses are building to represent him and represent his history and the deepness and all the stuff that's kind of, it's almost like an homage, I think. So the Terracemen are keen and fond of the fashion, and they're now wearing tailored gentleman suits, the Terrace are. They've traded in their furs, and that's kind of all we get.
Yeah.
Snack's over.
That's all we get. Snack's over. I mean, it's just... it didn't really... I'll put this one back. You put him back before. I was like, oh, okay. This is what's going on right now. What's going on in the real story? I was just ready for the meal. Things are at a high right now. So, What about you?
Yeah, very short, and we'll just crack open the lunchbox and dive right in here.
Diving in.
So I think we'll see. We have a tendency to talk for a long time, but both these chapters are actually quite shorter than what we've had in the past, but there's a lot of stuff going on, so we'll see how long it takes us.
Jam-packed.
It is jam-packed. So we are in a Vin perspective, and if you remember, the last time we saw her, she was with Kelsier, and where were they? I want to say they were... Oh, she was up on the roof of Club's shop, and she was upset. She had come in the door. She was upset about Elend and everything that had happened, and then she also killed Shan, which was awesome. What a great fight. So she had burst in and kind of yelled at everybody for basically, hey, you're not Ska, you're more like noblemen. What do you know about being Ska? So she was up on the roof, and Kelsier had kind of consoled her there. So that's where we last left off with her. And so we are, I think this has got to be a little bit into the future. I don't remember reading here how much
time has
how much in the future after this was. Yeah, how much time has passed since she was up on that roof. But I would say within a week is about a good time frame for this. So she is going up to the top of a Ska tenement that's just a couple buildings down from Club Shop. She uses her allomancy to hop up there, and we've got a 10-eye on the roof. You guessed it. It's our friend Spook, Lusty Bornez. And he is hanging out. He's actually the best 10-eye in the group, which is kind of where we're first...
Excited to hear this. It was exciting. Spook.
he's been left in the dark so much. Like no one's like he's just kind of this awkward kid that's hanging out, and it's like, oh yeah, but he's also the best one of us. Like, oh okay,
out
just
of
a kind of
nowhere.
unexpected detail for you to not include. So thanks.
He's
I
like
guess
hiding him in plain sight.
And so he's here, he's hanging out, and he's keeping an eye out, especially during the early evenings. That's when the conflict amongst great houses is likely to turn into outright fighting. Vin's asking him, hey, what's going on? And he's saying that keep hasting. He's pointing over there. There's a bunch of lights kind of shining from that area through the mists, and that soldiers are attacking, Alariel soldiers specifically are attacking Keep Hasting. So, obviously, we're seeing the downfall of some nobility, and this kind of behavior's mostly being perpetrated at night instead of during the day. It seems like the nobility's almost like afraid to do it in the day to like upset the Lord Ruler, and it's almost like they feel like they have to do it at night in the mists and the darkness. But the Lord Ruler, Vin's having these thoughts about the Lord Ruler basically expecting this and not even caring. He's just kind of letting it happen. The garrison's not even back yet. That's kind of is what it is. So garrison's, I guess, a week or two out, which I wanted to ask you about. So they're a week or two out. They're the ones that had emptied out to go and meet up with the rest of the garrisons to fight the rebel army.
Yeah, to hunt down like stragglers and stuff.
So how long? It didn't take Kelsier and Vin that long to get back, maybe 2 weeks-ish when they came back. And so they must have, during this time been... Like you said, maybe hunting down some stragglers and spending a little more time in the field. They didn't just like come straight back after that, I'm guessing.
I think that's the vibe I'm getting. It's like, yeah, they haven't been back. There's still that kind of window that Kelsier like brings up with the crew that, the castle's not as defended as normal. And that kind of like also is allowing like setting the stage for the families, the nobility to like fight each other. So I think they're still been out for a while.
Okay, cool. So Hastings, basically, they're getting ready to fall. It sounds like they're on their way out. It sounds like probably maybe with tonight, or I don't know if this is including Hastings, or maybe this is even before Hastings. But she's saying that their crew had basically instigated the house war, and that 3 entire great houses were no more. So I think that's probably not even including the Hastings house,
right?
Because that's current. Now. So we basically got maybe 4-ish of the great houses are going to be out, which there's they were 10 kind of before, so 6 left. That's 40%. That's a big number.
It's pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty good.
2 out of every 5.
Yeah, there you go.
How many different ways can we describe this for you guys? And so Vin's thinking that like, even if the crew doesn't succeed, because she's kind of thinking here that like the final empire is strained, but she doubts it's actually going to crack. But they've done an amazing job, and they've gotten further than basically any ska in history has. It's almost that typical ska attitude we've been seeing from Goodman Menace and some of the other ska like regulars, maybe not the ska nobles like Kelsier and friends. And it's that thought of like, wow, we're doing better than anybody, and if that's all we do, then good on us. Glad we did that. And so
right.
I was kind of surprised to see her say that here, or to have those thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess such it is, such as it is here. So
yeah, for sure.
But she is talking with Spook, and she can tell that her being there is kind of making him uncomfortable, and she finally rips the Band-Aid off here. She says, that Ellen broke off his relationship with me. And at first I was like, Vin, why would you lead with that? Like, that is not... Because he perks up and he's all excited. He's like, oh yeah, you and your kind of boyfriend, you're no more.
Yeah.
And she's like, but I still love him. I'm sorry. It's true. And it's just like, come on, you led the... That's like, you teased him a little bit, you know?
I think she's oblivious to it. But yeah, definitely that's how it went down.
Well, and she's clearly never been in a relationship before, or knows... No. She socially, she is not adapted or adept to
These situations,
people's feelings or these situations at all. So,
no.
I mean, I guess I can't be too mad, but I was like, God, you're ripping this kid's heart out,
Yeah, for sure. I was feeling for him.
Oh, dude, he's just a good kid. He's just a spook,
Yeah, dude. Yeah, he's just
our
looking
little
out.
spook.
He's looking out, doing his best.
Doing his best, looking out, using his 10 eyes. And she weirdly is like, can I still keep your handkerchief? And I was like, again, this is kind of weird. Like, why are you wanting to keep his handkerchief? And he's like, yeah, I guess. And, she's like, great, thanks. And so he says, I'm not a fool. I know it was going to happen. I see things, Vin. I see lots of things, which is very ominous.
Yeah.
And, like, obviously, he's a 10 eye, so he is seeing things. But, like,
Right.
It's just, I don't know. I wonder, there's definitely a lot more weights to his words, and I just wonder what he's really meaning. Because he doesn't really...
So if it's like a threat in some way.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll see where that plays out, because I think there's going to be more to tell between them, hopefully, but we'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah. And she's asking, he's been an Allomancer for a long time. He snapped when he was 5, and he doesn't really even remember it. And she's kind of asking about allomancy, and he's kind of trying to tell her, and yeah, which is, again, we had talked recently about how she hadn't practiced with a 10-eye or learned from anybody, so I think that's kind of what we're getting from Sanderson here, which is good.
Yeah, it is good. Yeah, I like the perspective of the 10 eyes and stuff. Very interesting.
Well, it's super interesting, and he explains it here, and she can't understand him, so she asks him, like, hey, can you say that in a way that's not, the way that you say things? And he's and she finally is able to translate it, and he's basically saying, like, if you want to be good at this, if you want to be a good 10-eye, you want to burn 10 well, you need to deal with the distractions. It's not about what you see, it's about what you can ignore. So it's about, seeing through the noise, and you've got all this info coming at you, and you got to be able to hone in on what you want and tunnel in on that one thing that you're looking for, and let everything fall to the wayside and ignore it. So and she's thinking, hey, that's actually pretty good advice. And unfortunately, it's pretty quick, and that's all we're getting out of 10 Eyes here.
Right.
And then they both get spooked when Kelsier jumps up and lands behind them.
Surprise!
So we get just a little bit of info that Vin's not staying at Mansion Renault, and she's only appearing there every once in a while to kind of keep up those appearances, and that Kelsier's worried about assassins. We also learned that the group has bought Kliss's silence. If you guys will remember, Kliss is the informant that has been at the balls. She's the one that was the gossip. And so we obviously saw how she was basically extorting Vin and the Renault's mansion or Renault house into keeping some information or giving some information, kind of some different stuff. And it sounds like they jumped on it and did buy her silence, especially her silence, hopefully, in regards to Vin being a Mistborn, or at least an Allomancer. And so, but who knows, how I know a informant, they're not going to have much business if they go off and, sell the secrets they're not supposed to sell. But, you just never know who she's actually working for, or, is she actually keeping it a secret? So that'll be interesting to see.
Oh, yeah. Danger. You know what I mean? Danger zone. Oh, absolutely. Big risk.
Highway to the danger zone. Hell yeah. And so they're talking about Kliss, and then they jump into what's going on tonight. So Kelsier and Vin are going off for their second meeting with Marsh. He's got a location that he's scouting out for a new soothing location for the Ministry.
Oh, yeah.
And he's supposed to be with a soother for a good deal of the time, but there's going to be maybe an opening kind of in the middle of the night where Marsh can basically get an hour or so alone. And so they're going to use that time to go and see him. And So that's what they're off to do. So they talk, hey, see you later, spook, and they jump into the night, and they actually end up down on the streets, and Vin's feeling very comfortable here in the mists. She feels like the mists were with her, which, I know Kelsier had talked about feeling comfortable in the mist, but I'm starting to wonder if some of the ways that she's phrasing her affinity for or her comfortability with the mists is something a little more telling about her, because she's obviously this next level of Mistborn, right? She's not just, oh, I snapped and I'm, pretty good, but, she's clearly better than Shan after only 8 months of training, and during that 8 months, she was on bed rest for like 2 months.
Yeah,
and,
totally.
Attending balls for
Right.
So, it wasn't really that much training. And
She's
so
clearly like a prodigy or, some kind of next level.
yeah, there's something going on. And so I wonder when she's having this feeling of the mists are with me, like, is that cluing us into something even more special about her than maybe an average Mistborn or an average Misting?
Cool. I like where your head's at.
Thanks, buddy. Just a thought. And Kelsier actually thanks Vin, and she's, like, what? And he's thanking her for what she said about Mare. And so in the last time we saw them together, Vin had basically said that she didn't think that Mare betrayed Kelsier, that she thinks that the Lord Ruler and Steel Inquisitors can see through copper clouds.
Right.
And, basically that because of that, when Mare was burning her tin to get into the palace last time, when they, tried to get in about 3 years ago, actually by now it's almost 4 years ago, that she, that's what gave them away. It wasn't anything that she did to actually betray him. And so he's thanking her for this thought, and he's now has this belief, or is actually starting to feel like, oh, she didn't actually betray me.
Right.
And he's saying it's foolish, that he's been waiting for a reason to give in to this self-delusion. And Vin says something that I just want to bring up, not to get in too much detail about every little thing they're saying, but she does bring up having to shut out that voice that whispers about betrayal and just hope that your friends aren't going to hurt you.
Right.
And so, I think that's obviously very Reen-centered, her brother. That's the voice that's been in her head, at least. And it's interesting for her to bring that up in such a way. We've seen so much growth and so much acceptance, and we're going to see in the next chapter where even though she has grown so much, people in this group still don't think it's enough.
Right.
Like, at least to where they're at.
Sure.
And that she has a lot more to learn. So I like that she said this here, because she's kind of recognizing some stuff about her and some things she's figured out for the better, but we haven't gone all the way. And so, and we'll get there here in probably, 15, 30 minutes. So
go Vin.
Stay tuned.
Go Vin.
Yeah. Good job, Vin. Working out your shit.
Yeah.
And Kelsier brings up Elend. He is saying that there's a chance that, Elend didn't really want to break up with her, that he's just trying to scare her out of the city, which is right on the nose.
Right.
Good job, Kelsier. And she's like, well, maybe, I don't know. But he probably thought I was a spy from one of the other houses, which, again, she's very right on it there, too.
Right.
Two very smart people here we got, and they're honing in on exactly what was going on. And so, she's got some sadness. And Kelsier's kind of trying to make her feel a little bit about it. But she's like, yeah, like, I just don't know about everything. Like, I used to understand things. Now I'm all confused. And Kelsier's like, yep, we've messed you up right properly. Like, we've done it. You're in it now.
Yeah.
And so just kind of, I think it was a good exchange for them, especially after the rocky footing that they had, when she came back from killing Shan. So we are now outside of another large ska tenement, and they step up, and Kelsier knocks on the door, and a ska opens, and is very excited to see Kelsier. And so we learn that Kelsier has been kind of in between causing his mayhem and going out and just kind of lighting the world on fire. He has been visiting at least a couple of nights of these ska tenements throughout the city. He brings them food, it sounds like, is just kind of checking in on them and kind of playing this paternal role to the ska in general. And Vin's a little concerned because everyone here is they're very they're holding him to such high esteem, and it's almost very, what is, maybe this is the right word, but they're revering him, or reverence.
Yeah,
is that a word?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Revering.
Like almost like he's a saint or some kind of like holy figure, idolizing.
He's up on a pedestal.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, 100%.
So they're very
he's eating it up.
Interested. What's that?
He's eating it up. I think. I think he definitely likes it.
Yeah, and that's what Breeze and Ham and Docs were concerned with, is this, and Vin now too. And so she's kind of seen some of it firsthand.
Right.
And Kelsier's assuring them that, like, hey, like we've the Hastings are going to be gone. You're not going to have to be whipped by them anymore in the mills. And they're worried about their food. And Kelsier's like, I'm going to send you some more food. And he's like, what you guys can do for me is be a little less afraid. These people can be beaten. And again, Vin's got these mixed feelings about all this. And it's he loves the people. He loves the ska. But she says it's more like a parent for a child than it's like a, someone of an equal. So almost like Kelsier is kind of putting himself above them.
Right.
Which I think is true. And so, he explains to Vin kind of why he's doing this, and, it breaks up the monotony and probably the trauma and the, just death that he's seeing all the time as he's killing all these noble people. He's got to kind of keep himself grounded by going to these places and, seeing some of the people and, why are we fighting? What's my why here?
Yeah.
And so keeping himself tied to those people and,
like motivated.
Motivated by them, I think. So, I'm all about that. I think that's good.
Oh yeah, for sure. It is good. I think.
Yeah,
definitely. He wants to be. He believes he can be the hope, their hope, and I don't know. I think it's, while vain, I think it's done with these intentions that to uplift and to protect and
right.
Yeah, to kind of break the bonds that are holding him down. So. Yeah,
for sure. So Kelsier and Vin, they end up leaving there, and they arrive at a, kind of this building. Marsh is supposed to be meeting them there, and there's a window that's lit, and Marsh was going to leave it lit if the other obligators were gone. And so they end up taking the stairs in. The building's empty. It appears to be abandoned, and Marsh should be able to tell them about kind of how the ministry's handling the house war and what's all going on.
Right.
And, Kelsier's kind of in the middle of a sentence as he's pushing open the door to the floor that Marsh should be on, and he just freezes. Vin immediately flares her pewter. She knows something's going on. She crouches down and she's listening for any attackers, and she's not hearing anything. And Kelsier just says no. And we've got dark red liquid seeping around the side of Kelsier's foot out into the hallway. And it's pooling slightly, and it's dripping down the steps. And, Vin says, "Oh, Lord Ruler." And I think at this point, everyone should know what's going on. And,
oh my God, what's going on?
It's horrible. Kelsier's stumbling into the room. The walls are sprayed with red, and it's just like it was in Cayman's lair. With the gruesome, and how can someone produce this much blood? Who is it going to be? And
only with a single victim. It says,
one person. And Kelsier drops to his knees in the blood of his brother Marsh.
Yeah,
and
brutal.
He raises a hand as if to touch the skinless body, but remained frozen there, stunned. So. Yeah, pretty horrible. His head's crushed in, and he's got no skin on him anymore.
Yeah.
So,
pretty terrible.
Things are going well.
It's a gruesome, it's a gruesome sight.
This crew's doing
sad.
good.
Yeah, it's sad to see this happen, definitely not what I wanted. I think we were getting a checkup with Marsh, and I was super excited. So, yeah, man, this is brutal.
So brutal. I owe Marsh an apology.
You never got to say sorry.
I got to pour one out for him post death here. Yeah, totally. Pour one out for the homies.
Mm-hmm.
I was a little wrong, a lot wrong about where his allegiances lied. So sorry for that one, Marsh.
No, don't be sorry. You had ideas, and I thought they were warranted in a lot of ways. So I liked where you were going with it. I didn't want to, I just wanted to kind of embrace it. It was cool, man. It was a path we went down.
Yeah,
but here we are.
We did go down, and here we are now. So Vin is, urging Kelsier on because she knows that an Inquisitor could be there at any point. An Inquisitor did this, and maybe he's still there or going to come back, and so she's trying to get him to get out. And so they're heading for the window. She finally gets a move in, and she sees a wooden table leg tucked half hidden beneath a blank sheet of paper. And Vin snatches it before she goes. And if you'll remember, that's how we got his first, when we got that map of where all the soothing stations were. It came in that table leg to Club Shop for repair.
Yeah.
And so that's how Marsh had sent them what he was looking for. So
all the soothing stations and all the activity, he had laid it all there. Yeah. So Vin was super clever, kind of picked that up, and
she recognizes this as a
sign,
as a sign. So we get a perspective. I don't know if is it a perspective?
Time
no, I don't think so.
Shift, perspective,
time
change.
shift.
Yeah,
time warp. And we are back in Club Shop, and Doxson is reading the paper that was in the leg, and basically Marsh is writing that the Inquisitors suspect him. And it's one single sheet of paper, and it's saying that he's been asking too many questions, and he's asking, he knows that they've sent some messages to the corrupt obligator who supposedly trained him as an acolyte. And so, they were asking kind of about his past and upbringing and kind of what was going on there. And, he's just seeking out secrets that the rebellion wanted to know. How does the ministry recruit Mistborn to be Inquisitors? Why are the Inquisitors more powerful than Allomancers? What are their weaknesses? And that although these, the people we talk to, they do know, or they seem to know of weaknesses, they're not basically telling him.
It's whisper it in the corners.
Yeah.
No one knows what the weakness is, right? Or those who do won't share, like you said.
And he's writing specifically to Kelsier. He says they do have a secret, Kelsier, a weakness. I'm sure of it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, writing directly to him.
I fear I've prodded too much. The Inquisitors tail me. They watch me. They ask after me. So I prepare this note. Perhaps my caution's unnecessary. Perhaps not. And that's all it says. So everyone's in disbelief. They are
R.I.P.
They are upset, and I think they should be. No one really knows kind of what to do, and Kelsier kind of stands straight up and he goes, "Hey, tell Renaud to pull out. We're going to use our plans. We have a cover story already in place because of the house war where he's retreating. Right. Send him by boat on the canals, him and everybody else from the mansion, and then about a day or two outside of the city, ditch the boats and have them come back on foot into the city and join us." Doxson's like, okay, and Kelsier's like, Marsh knew everything, Dox. They must have broken him. They got him with the torture. He had to have told them everything. That's just how it works with the Inquisitors. And he kind of lets the works hang out there. And so they've got a backup lair they're going to. And Kelsier's like, yes, go to the backup lair. You guys need to get out of here quick. 15 minutes tops and get out, go to the backup lair. I'll meet you in 2 days. And everyone's like, 2 days? And Kelsier says, they hit me where it couldn't have hurt worse, and I'm going to do likewise. And then another perspective change. So
new perspective.
New perspective, new person. We got Wallen, or is he wailing? I don't know.
Yeah, dude, I feel like he's definitely wailing down there, that's for sure. That's true. He's not having a good time.
100% not. Let's go with Waylon. And so Waylon is in the pits of Hathsin. He is on day 6 of 7 of finding atium and the geodes that he needs to stay alive. And he's thinking, I gotta keep going. I gotta keep doing this. I'm almost dead. If I come back up without this, I'm dead tomorrow. And so he reaches into one last hole here. He finds the atium he's looking for. He's so relieved. And he does find the Hathsin geode, is what he refers to it as. Probably because they're not supposed to know that it's atium, would be my guess.
Yeah, they don't know. The geode.
So
the crystals.
What a great geode that these guys need. Glad I'm climbing into pits to
cutting my hands,
tear my arms up.
It's the worst.
And so, he's crawling over dead bodies down there and doing all the same stuff that we know that is bad in the pits. And we learn that the reason he's here is because he stole some food from his plantation lord that was probably starving him to death. So, instead of killing him there, they're going to kill him here. Great. And so he's climbing back up. He's excited that he's got this geode. He gets to live 7 more days. And he gets out. He pops out of the crack, and there's someone standing over him in a mist cloak. And the person, which we're assuming here's Kelsier.
Who are
says,
you?
Go. Yeah. Mister? He says, go. Most of the guards are dead. Gather all the prisoners. Get out of here. You have a geode? He's like, yep. He goes, go sell it. You're going to make a lot of money. You should be able to live off of it for a long time. Go before the alarm sounded. And the guy's like, who are you? He goes, I'm what you will soon be. I am a survivor.
Yeah.
And so... and then we're kind of getting into this kind of secret plan that Kelsier's been forming ever since he got out of the pits, right? So he gets the courage up to go back in. He's not really wanting to do it. His scars are itching and tingling and burning, and he's got this itch of like, I really can't go back down there. And he decides, okay, no, I can, and he jumps down in there. And we know that the reason they can't use allomancers to extract the atium geode is because when you use allomancy around the crystals in these holes where the geodes lie, they shatter.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming the crystals around shatter, but then also the geode itself shatters.
Right.
And so, that's why they're using the slave labor and all these people who have been, sent basically to their death after they've done something like steal food. Good use of, capital punishment. So, 3 years earlier, after Kelsier had survived and basically became the survivor of Hathsin, when he was first understanding or feeling his allomantic powers, he could kind of sense where all the crystal pockets were, and he kind of first came up with this plan. So once he crawls down in here tonight, he uses his allomancy, and he is seeing faint blue lines that are shooting off to where the residual traces of atium were, and probably where some atium is. And so he is able to kind of track where everything is, and he knew that now he can find these crystals and that he could shatter them using his allomancy, and that they were the only means of producing atium in the entire Final Empire. And you tried to destroy me, pits of Hathsin, he thought, but it's time for me to return the favor. And that's the end of 32.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he takes a pull on some of those lines, and he just hears the crystals start to break. It's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome ending, kind of like a revenge, Kelsier's revenge, like, you took something precious from me, I'm going to take something precious from you. And, it's, he's definitely, through his grief, he's like kind of finding the strength to kind of tackle the pits, which, I mean, for the whole time have been like kind of haunting him. So it's a great chapter for sure.
That's fantastic.
How'd you
back,
feel about it? I'll be back.
No. Yeah, I mean, it was sad to see Marsh go. We're ramping up, and I'm assuming he might not be the the only person we're gonna see dead in this group before the end of this book.
Yeah, we'll
so
see, man. Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, we'll see how it all plays out, I guess. But you know, I think we definitely, it definitely kept me on the edge of my seat, I should say. Like, I was reading this and I was so, like, just excited and jacked to be reading. And then once I got through that chapter, I was like, thank God we've got one more that I can read.
We got another
I
one.
can't put this down.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, it's some quality writing for sure. I love the perspective change. And I just wanted to call it out because it reminded me of a Wheel of Time chapter that Sanderson wrote, and like I think I can make it spoiler free enough to where it was from the perspective of someone you never met, and there's like so many perspectives in Wheel of Time, it's not funny, but he took a lot of like, it just has him written all over it, where there's like attention to detail. It's about a blacksmith. They're like, forging this tool for the fields, and someone comes and tells them that they need to forge it to be a weapon. And it's this kind of like, all from their perspective, and it really like, he really gets into the character. And I feel like Waylon, who we're with for such a short period of time, you get that frantic sense of survival, and it's pretty awesome. Yeah. It's just like, it's an exciting, like it's a short expose of another perspective, which you don't have a ton of in this book. There's a good amount.
I agree.
Yeah, there's not a ton. So yeah, no, I love it, man. It's a lot of fun.
It was fun to be back at the pits.
Yeah, fun. Yeah, these pits were fun. Yeah, these pits still stink.
Yeah, they do. So, 33. We're jumping in with the snack. And so this has a little more. It's a little more from the Lord Ruler here in this snack, saying that they feel free. They're high enough on the mountain that they're free of the oppressive touch of the deepness. And it's been a while since he knows or has felt what that's like. And Fedek, who we know he's been traveling with before, saw some kind of lake, and it's down below them. And it's kind of eerie from up there. It's glassy and almost metallic. It's got a sheen. He's saying, I wish, he had taken some kind of sample. Perhaps Fedek's interest is what angered the mist creature that follows us. And so we knew about the mist creature and that Fedek had been attacked. And it's saying here that that was why it decided to attack him, stabbing him with its invisible knife. Kind of crazy. And this attack comforted the Lord Ruler, and that, basically someone else saw the mist creature and that he's not crazy. And that's why he's excited about it.
Yeah, I know. And he was really like shaken, I think, as, he was like, what is that? And then it happens again. So, oh my God, I like this snack. This like,
tell me about it.
Yeah, no, well, just like this mist creature. I'm digging that. I'm liking hearing more about that. It's exciting. Don't really know what's going on there. Do you have any do you have any ideas? Like, what do you think?
No, I mean, like, it's interesting that they're high enough that the deepness can't touch them, or they don't feel its touch. So like, I'm almost kind of associating it with like when you get too close to the Lord Ruler, he's like exuding the soothing that he is sending out, like either when you're by Kredek Shah or you're just by him in general, right? Like he's sending out this massive cloud. Oh, yeah. And so like it's almost kind of like that in a sense of like this deepness, this touch.
It's just pushing away from here. Yeah.
And is it, again, just something that he's feeling? Is it something that just the people around him feels? Like maybe the whole world's not even feeling it, and it's just something that's only around him and that he can't get rid of. Like, like someone casts some kind of hex on him or something. Like,
interesting.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, I like where your head's at.
Those are my thoughts.
Yeah, no, I love that. I'm here for it. I also just like being in the mountains and this track and stuff. Like it gets good vibes to it. But I just love the idea of this kind of kind of like lake you can barely see, tucked in the mountains, and has this like metallic sheen.
Yeah.
And so the whole like metallic thing I just thought was an interesting word choice, and I liked it. It's pretty cool. So
it is cool.
Yeah.
Anyways. Yeah, I mean, you know, maybe some metal that we don't know about is has a what would that be, a low melting point where even in the frigid mountains it's still a liquid.
Right.
You know, who knows?
Yeah, interesting point. Well, cool. Well, what do you say? You ready for the full meal?
Yep, let's eat.
Let's eat.
So we are in the backup lair. It's a dank cellar. We've got the crew here. Everyone's upset about Marsh, of course, and Kelsier's still not back. And this dank cellar's, you know, it's kind of this 3-room little, cellar, right? Like it's nothing to write home about. It's got dirt floors, and Bree's kind of looking around uncomfortable. He doesn't, you know. It's dank. Yeah, he's not excited to be there. And they've been here for 2 days. Kelsier's not back yet, and it's been a two full days basically. Every once in a while, someone might go out to, I'm assuming, grab food or do something that they need to do. But for the most part, they are trying their best to stay inside and avoid going out due to the dangers. And so Doxson, he's kind of going through all of his papers. He's got, you know, his most important notes and contracts and all this stuff kind of piled before him, and they and especially here looking through this, he's saying like they can't live off of what they've got much longer, especially if Kelsier is going to keep giving away money and food and stuff to the ska throughout the city. So everyone's kind of basically here talking about like there's going to be a change, right? Like they're going to be able to kind of be done with this job. They're going to go find something else to do. That working with Kelsier's fun, but it's draining, right? Like it's always an exciting job, but it's a draining job. It takes a lot out of you, a lot out of you. And Vin is kind of surprised here to see that this crew is going to be breaking up. You know, and they explained to her that like, you know, Kelsier's not the only person we work for. You know, we all take different jobs, and we only take jobs when we think it's worthy. And you know, we all were hoping that we were going to be able to get the ATM and get the treasury here. Like, yeah, all the stuff with the ska is good, but you know, we still have lives and families and, you know, things that we wanted to do. And you know, we stayed here even through all these kind of downs, right? They've had lots of setbacks, and they stayed because of Kelsier and kind of the plan. And like there was a sense of nobleness in the plan of helping the ska, and that was something to, you know, be proud of. But at the end of the day, it's, you know, they all are kind of hanging their hats up and thinking like, this is it, you know, and hey, but at least we started this house war, and you know, how many noblemen do you think we've, you know, are dead now? Hundreds. And you know, oh yeah, and the government, you know, there's so much disorder, and so they're all excited. But Vin's thinking through all of this, like, I'm really gonna miss this. You know, I wasn't expecting to, you know, be apart from these guys so soon, and she's sad here. So next thing you know, Vin hears something. Kelsier ends up opening the door and striding in, and you know, he looks very tired, and she notices immediately, and you know, thinks, oh, that's Pewter Drag. I've seen that before. I felt that before. He's dragging. He's dragging. And so Clubs and Spook Clubs is sleeping in the back. Spook went with Renault. They wanted to have a 10-eye with Renault to keep watch. And so, you know, they're saying, hey, Kelsier, you look terrible. What have you been up to? Where were you? You're late. And, you know, we thought you were doing something stupid. And, you know, have you been assassinating people? Did you slaughter some people? What's going on? And he goes, oh yeah, I destroyed the pits of Hathzen. And everyone's just stunned. They don't even know what's going on. They're like, and Breeze is like, you know, you'd think that by now we'd have learned to not underestimate him. So like everyone's obviously impressed, but like kind of in disbelief. And, you know, Kelsier explains that he didn't actually destroy the pits, but he shattered all the crystals, and that, they take a long time to grow, like hundreds of years, so that basically there's going to be no new ATM in the Final Empire, because these are the only known pits where they grow, where the crystals grow. And so no new ATM in the Empire for centuries, and that Breeze is saying like ATM's the foundation of the Imperial economy, and that like it's how obviously the Lord Ruler maintains his hold over the nobility, and that this is going to have a huge effect. And, that he's like, you're a genius. Like, this is amazing. And everyone's excited, right? Like, even though the plans are still off, like their things are kind of crazy, at least they were able to do this. And Kelsier's like, all right, like, I'm going to go sleep. We've got more planning to do. And everyone's like, no, like,
what more plans?
What planning? Like, we're kind of done here. And he's like, no, I promise you're going to want to hear this. We'll talk tomorrow. And so then we get
perspective
like a time warp
change.
Well, I think it's
still Vin.
It's a time warp. It's still Vin. So just thank you. And she's talking with Saze, and Saze is he's making the meal for everybody, which is very nice of him, and he's looking very regal as he does it. Vin and her are talking, and he's asking her, or she's asking him, like, hey, in all the lore and all the legends, like, have you ever heard about the 11th battle that Kelsier talks about? And he's like, no, I haven't, but, I technically don't know everything. And Vin's like, I haven't seen it either, but I swear it's true. Like, I just believe Kelsier for some reason. I don't know why. Kind of as they're having this conversation, Vin hears something like someone coming, and an apprentice, another new person, Taze, bursts into the main room and says that there's people gathering in the square, and they all recognize that this is going to be execution. So they wake up Kelsier. Basically, we're seeing like, hey, this has got to be retribution for what happened at the pits, what I just did. I'm going to go out there, Kelsier says, I'm going to watch this, or at least see what's going on. And pretty much the rest of them all go, except Clubs and Sazed and the apprentices. They stay at the safe house, but everybody else climbs out. So we got Breeze, Ham, Doxson, and Vin. They're running to catch up with Kelsier in the streets. All the people are coming out of their, tenements or wherever they're living, heading towards the square. And Kelsier stops short a few blocks, is looking around trying to get that advantage, and decides to climb up the rain gutter, the rain spout on the gutters, and Breeze rolls his eyes, and him and Doxson go to the front door, but Vin and Ham, they've got their pewters, so they're able to follow him, use their strength up. But, while they're kind of in the process of this, Vin can flare her tin, and she feels, after Kelsier kind of encourages to, says, hey, did you hear something? And she hears carts, and she's thinking that, oh yeah, like the prisoners, like there's horses and carriages, like it's time, basically. So they get up top. Kelsier's not really, he's pretty despondent, right? Like, he's thinking he kind of caused this again, which is his, that's his theme. And he's not really hearing the words here, that, hey, like, there's all these people, there's inquisitors riding with the prisoners, there's soldiers, like, how like, there's nothing you can do, Kelsier. Ham is kind of basically saying to him, and Kelsier's just like, I can't stop this, I can't save them. He's thinking it too. Vin sees that Kelsier's, having some thoughts on his head again of like maybe going out and doing something. I'm sorry. Earlier I said, I can't stop this, I can't save them. He's saying, I can stop this, I can save them.
Yeah.
My apologies.
Yeah. You're good.
And Vin's like, you can't do this again. There's so many people. You just can't do it. It's not going to work. And Ham's he's not really interjecting at all. And she's kind of thinking that's weird. And Breeze is squinting. He's like, I'm no Tin-Eye, but don't some of those prisoners look a bit too well dressed? Oh. And everyone freezes, and they're looking through their tin-enhanced eyes, and they see someone they recognize at the front cart. Spook.
No.
I know. Not what we want.
No.
So Renault and the group from the mansion have basically been intercepted on their way out of the city, we think. Their caravan on the canals. They've all been rounded up, and now they're going to be executed. And so there's hundreds of people, servants, staff, guards, Renault himself, Spook. They're all in these carts, and Kelsier immediately jumps into action, and he's like, "We have to work quickly." And Vin grabs him and is like, "Again, you can't save them. They're too well guarded. It's the middle of the daylight. It's the middle of the city. You're going to get yourself killed." And this is where, going back to last chapter, I talked about Vin making progress with her friends and her feelings and trusting. And he says, "You don't understand what this is all about, do you, Vin? You've never did." Pretty harsh here. "I let you stop me once before on the hillside by the battlefield. Not this time. This time I can do something." And she's like, but, and he shakes her free. And he's like, "You still have some things to learn about friendship, and I hope someday you realize what they are." And she's just like kind of flabbergasted. And so he takes off. He's going towards the carts. Ham's running off. He's going in a different direction. And Vin's like, "What is going on?" And Dachshund runs up to her, and she's like, "This is crazy. Like, we can't do this. And like, we're not invincible." And he says, "We're not helpless either."
Yeah, he snorts. He's like,
so,
"Fuck this, dude." Yeah.
Yeah, come on, Vin.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone's on the same page, which I very much appreciate. And like, this is why they're the crew, right? Like, they're the crew. And so
are. That's awesome.
Breeze is like, he's pointing down. He goes, "There, we need to go to a place where I can see the soldiers." And, they kind of drag Vin along. So we get a little bit of a perspective change to Kelsier and little quick time warp, but perspective change as well. And he's down in his vials of metals, and he's tossing them behind him, and he's running towards these people in the cages. And so he drops a coin, he jumps, and he lands right in the center of a bunch of soldiers, like some guards, and they're all kind of like taken aback. And he flares his steel, and he yells, he's screaming, and he pushes outwards, and all of them fly backwards in this big circle around him.
It's like
which is awesome,
like a blast, like a micro burst. that's pretty sweet.
It's great.
Yeah,
and so they all fly backwards, and they're screaming. And Kelsier, jumps up onto a cart. He's using a sputer. He smashes into the cart, grabs the door, throws it off, and he rips the door free. And he's like, go. And he spins, and he's face to face with a tall figure wearing a brown robe. Kelsier kind of steps back, and the figure drops his hood, reveals a pair of eyes impaled by spikes. The Inquisitor smiled, and Kelsier heard footsteps approaching down the alleyways, hundreds of them. And another quick perspective change to Vin here. She, Breeze, and Dachshund are seeing all of this as it's happening. And they're like, Breeze, damnation, and like, what is it? And it's an Inquisitor, and Vin's thinking, "Oh my god, it's a trap, Kelsier, get out of there." So another perspective, quick changes from perspective to perspective. Kelsier is, we're in that fight scene. He's jumping around, flipping over prisoner carts. We've got some new people that have run up, and they're haze killers, no metal whatsoever. And, the Inquisitor's pushing himself through the air and landing next to Kelsier, and he's smiling at Kelsier super creepily. Kelsier's thinking, "Oh, this is the same man, the Inquisitor from before." And so I don't know, is that the one from before inside when they went into Krennic Shaw?
I think so, yeah. That's my thought. Like the same one he fought before, because the other two went out to go get Vin. That's my guess. That's the last Inquisitor I think of when I think of him.
Okay, that's a good cast iron hot take. I like it.
Cast iron.
The Inquisitor's like, "Where's the girl?" So we're seeing this obsession with Vin, and it's still making me feel like she's not just, again, a normal Mistborn. Like, is she maybe not just the High Lord Praelin's offspring? He sired this child out of wedlock with a ska. Is it like something more, like something from the Lord Ruler himself? I don't know.
Yeah, it's the first question again. I think it's a lot of focus on Vin. So yeah, it's a good call out.
Kelsier ignores it. Why only one of you? And he says, I won the draw. And so, like, they drew straws to see who, like, get to kill Kelsier. Like,
I love it. It's, like, kind of, like, spooky and, like, kind of mocking and joking, you know.
But very human-like, right? Like,
right. Yeah, definitely.
Like, that's exactly what a bunch of, soldiers would have done.
Say. Yeah, totally.
And so, Kelsier's flaring his pewter, he's dashing around, and the Inquisitor, my favorite part of this entire battle, is he pulls out a pair of obsidian axes.
Yeah.
Which we haven't seen obsidian axes yet. We've just seen, like, knives and stuff.
We saw them at the beheading, at the killings.
Those were obsidian?
Obsidian axes, yeah, definitely.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, they're always carrying
I was so
that.
excited.
I mean,
I missed that.
It's pretty sweet. I'm excited too.
Oh, dude,
we're seeing them
sick.
fight with them now. Before they were just murdering with them. I mean, now they're trying to do the same thing.
Yeah, it's
so good.
I was very excited. I was like, that's cool. That's badass. So,
absolutely.
So all the people from the carts are yelling for Kelsier. He's jumping around. More soldiers are coming in. He's trying to figure out how he can free the occupants here. The Inquisitor's right on his tail. Like, he doesn't have any time to free them. He's dodging the axe as it's, flies towards his face. He's, some of the soldiers are attacking, and, he pulls one of the doors off. I think the door that he had previously thrown, pulls it and throws it into the squad of soldiers, and the Inquisitor attacks him. He's jumping away, and he's having this thought as, like, he's kind of struggling here, that Vin was right, that he shouldn't have done this. Like, soldiers are rounding it. Yeah, the soldiers are rounding up the ska that he had already freed. He's like, I need to run. I need to lose this Inquisitor. But he's like, I can't leave these people. I'm not going to do it this time. Like, I've compromised my beliefs too many times. It's cost me everything. It's time to free these prisoners. I have to do it. And then he, as he's like flying through the air, he sees a group of men charging, and he's like, oh no, more soldiers. But no, who is it? It's Ham. Yeah. They've got weapons, no uniforms, and they're running. That's where Ham darted off to get the nearest, closest group of hidden soldiers.
I love it. Here we go. It's on, dude.
No, it's on, dude. Another perspective change. We're back with Vin.
Yep.
They're seeing, hey, it's our soldier units. Like, Ham must have gone with them. They've got a couple hundred. They're still going to be outnumbered, but, like, we're excited here. And Vin's like, I got to go help. And Doxson, surprisingly, because I think she should go help, right? She's stronger than everybody.
Yeah,
like,
totally.
I'm thinking you're using her in the most inappropriate way by having her stand here. Like, send her into the fray. Like,
she's a machine.
But Doxson is he's dadding her here hard.
Yeah,
he's
I think so. He's worried about it.
I don't want this. I don't want this happening again to you. It's not going to happen. And so she's kind of upset about that. And Doxson's like, oh, they're going to be fine. And I was like, they are not going to be fine. But Breeze is mumbling to himself. He's like, oh, yes, you're afraid. Let's focus on that.
He's like soothing these enemy soldiers.
Leave you terrified.
Yeah, I love it.
That's an Inquisitor and a Mistborn fighting you. You don't want to interfere with that. Oh, yes, you're afraid, little boy. And so,
I love it.
Yeah, it's very creepy. And Vin realizes how like, oh, there's other ways I can help from here. And she kneels down. She's like, how can I help? And so back to Kelsier, perspective change. He's ducking around. Ham's soldiers are smashing into the other soldiers. They're making their way towards the prisoner carts. The ska from the square are starting to come up and kind of see what's going on. Some other soldiers that were in the square are trying to make their way, but the ska are in the way. And so they're, a lot of people are coming, and time's kind of running out here because, they're eventually going to get overwhelmed. And Kelsier starts to hear someone yelling through the crowd, Valette.
Oh, no.
fucking Ellen, dude.
No.
Like, oh, buddy. So he's carrying his dueling cane, which is, going to do him a lot of good here. And he's got some bodyguards with him. And he's like, who told you to raid House Renault's convoy? Who authorized this? And so he's upset. He's coming after his lady, and Kelsier literally says, in his mind, great. Like,
Yeah.
just what I needed.
Yeah, I know.
And the Inquisitor is, as this is going on, he's got this twisted, hateful expression on his face, and the Inquisitor starts to reach out, and he beheads a fleeing servant.
Casually
and he starts to reach for
beheads.
someone else. Yeah, just casually
That's
with his
insane.
axe. No big deal.
Yeah.
And he's got another victim, and he's got his axe raised, and Kelsier's like, all right, like, if you want to fight me, fight me. Like, he's not going to just keep running from this guy and run in circles to try to distract him. He knows that he's got to do something, or this guy's going to keep killing. The Inquisitor's going to keep killing everybody. So the creature's smiling, and he's pushing the crowd, like, he pushes the woman that he captured away, and he's coming towards Kelsier, and Kelsier's got 2 more corks with 2 more vials, and he downs both vials at once, and he tosses them aside, and he's got metals flaring in his chest, and he's thinking, my brother's dead, my wife's dead, my family and friends, even some of my heroes, they're all dead. You wanna push me? You wanna push me to seek revenge? Well, you, Mr. Steel Inquisitor, shall have it. It's time to rock.
Let's do it.
And so he steps a few feet in front of him, fist clenched, flares of steel, massive push, biggest push, and all around him people are thrown back. And the square, packed with Imperial soldiers and the prisoners, it opened up in a pocket around Kelsier and the Inquisitor.
Just like from an eagle-eye view, just imagine just like people go flying and all you see is like
flying backwards.
Two people standing, across from each other. Yeah, that's so good. Let's do it then.
Let's do it then.
Yeah.
That's how he ends.
Oh, man.
Dude, and that's the end of 33. And I'm going to be honest, I was reading this today. And we got to 33, and I was like, oh, I'm just supposed to stop reading here? This fucking sucks.
Yeah.
What a horrible way for this to end. But at least we're recording today, so I can jump right into a reading
jump right in. I hope you do. You're in for a ride, man. This is so good. Ellen showing up. Wow, what are your thoughts? Yeah, what are you thinking? Let's ride this high.
Ellen,
next?
again, I just wonder, I have this feeling that he still is hiding some powers, some allomancy, like,
right.
Or maybe he hasn't snapped yet, right? Like,
sure.
Maybe him seeing something bad happen to Vince gonna snap him or something. I don't know, but
right.
So we'll see with that. But yeah, I mean, foolish boy for, hey, Steel Inquisitor who's attacking my, kind of girlfriend's convoy. Who gave you orders? Like, bro, this guy's gonna murk you. Like, you need to sit down with you and your 2 bodyguards and your dueling cane. This isn't the dueling grounds. This is real life, Ellen.
Yeah, that's a real deal.
Yeah, this isn't your philosophy book,
Oh yeah, no, this isn't book club. Yeah, he's in over his head for sure. But I was proud of him, at least for showing up. I think he found out, Vin's in danger, and he doesn't maybe not doing the smartest thing, but he's definitely showing up. Oh, yes, he thinks Vin's in danger, and she is, but she's just not in the same kind of danger that he's thinking of.
Right. So. No, I mean, it's a noble thing that he's doing, and it's almost kind of like what, Kelsier and them are all doing, right? Like, they've got these people they want to save, right? And, if Kelsier loves the ska and Ellen loves Vin or Villette. And so,
right.
Putting everything on the line for the people that you love, and, you'll do anything for them. And so, I mean, it's good to see, but,
not good timing.
These kids.
These teeny boppers. Yeah, well,
knuckleheads.
These knuckleheads,
What a couple knuckleheads.
Yeah, right? And it's also ironic. He's kind of saving the first, Vin's first suitor, if you will. Like.
Oh, that's true.
It's ironic to think about it, but if you want to go full teeny bop
that's
drama.
That's a good point.
He's showing up and.
And she kept his handkerchief. There's something there.
Yeah, something.
Wouldn't keep it if she wasn't excited about it.
Exactly. So yeah, no, I think that that's ironic and kind of fun to think about. But just like we're in it, man. We're deep in that center
Lynch.
Lynch.
We're so in it.
Yeah, it's like when you watch those videos, those guys skiing and they're like corner to corner in these like cliff walls, one mistake and you're gonna have a bad day. definitely never skied anything like that in my life, but I can only imagine that's where we're at right now, skiing down the Sanderlanche. So one mistake, it'll cost us our life. We're flying. Yeah,
we are flying.
Spook's in trouble. Marsh is gone. What's going to happen next? I think anything.
The pits are destroyed.
Yeah, the pits. Yeah, those pits, they're stinky. But
which that's going to cause some. We didn't cover this. That's going to cause some problems for House Venture, right? That's how they're staying afloat and staying on top.
Big time.
So we haven't even talked about that.
Right. I mean, and maybe that's why Ellen knows that, to be here. How does he really find out about this kind of going down? So
yeah,
that's another good point there as well. I mean, how does that bode for House Venture, but also how does that bode for the Lord Ruler and this action taking place? It's kind of a big quick action too, if you think about it. He just got back there pretty recently.
And you just we haven't seen at least the city ska, your average ska has not seen such open defiance of the Empire and the Lord Ruler and Obligators, Inquisitors, and the garrison and the city, right? They've never ever seen, not just obviously a ska, but a Mistborn or anybody fighting back like this,
right?
And they're all coming, right? They all got called out to, hey, we got some more beheadings, we got some more hangings going on, everybody to the square. So they're all here, and so it makes you wonder, is this going to be the point where people are hey, you know what? It's time for me to step up. I'm going to do something. We're not just going to sit idly by and watch our their savior, essentially, right? Kelsier, the survivor of Hathsin, the person that they've been, essentially praying to in this weird way and, holding in this divine way. We're not going to let him down or let him die here, right? He's fed us, he's taken care of us. Maybe it's time for the ska to step up, which is what he's been trying to get them to do. So maybe we're going to see that. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I agree, man. That would be cool.
Especially when you've got, 1 million of them in the streets. What's the garrison of 50,000 soldiers going to do against a million?
No.
Nothing.
They can't. Overwhelmed for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Nothing,
man. Yeah, it'd be great.
Get to stepping.
It'd be great to see. I'm really rooting for Kelsier here. I'm rooting for the ska. Rooting for Spook. Worried about him. No sign of Renew, but I'm rooting for Renew too. Why not? But yeah, buddy, it's a great chapters there. I look forward to the next couple here, and yeah, man, just enjoying the ride. I don't know. That's all I really got to say.
No, I'm with it, and we're excited to keep reading. We're closing out here, so we've only got, let's see, so that was 33. We're going to move on to 34 and 35 next, and then after that, 36 and 37, and then wrapping it up with 38 and the epilogue. So of actual book episodes for us, we've got pretty much after this one, we've got 3 more left, and then we'll see what we can put out, maybe something after we finish up reading, some kind of total recap or something, or some kind of bonus thing that we can come up with together, some exciting things we can maybe
Misty Boy bonus bonanza
produce. Yeah, dude.
Maybe.
That's a deep cut.
Deep cut right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see what we can do for you guys, but
deep cuts.
We're wrapping it up here, and we are. I mean, I'm certainly excited to be finally finishing the book. It's been a journey to get here. It's been a lot of fun, obviously, to read the book and experience it, and to see the story arc, and now be in the Sanderlanche. So that's cool. But it also feels cool and good to, been on this journey with you, Christopher, and to, figure out, hey, how do we record a podcast, and how do we get it out to all these platforms, and how do we edit audio? And I mean, we're still figuring things out, and we're making mistakes, and we're trying to figure out social media and views and clicks and comments, and trying to stay on top of it all. So it's certainly messy, but it's a lot of fun, and I'm having fun with it. So it's cool to be kind of wrapping up. You know, I mean, I'll be sad when this book's done, but the nice thing is we've got 100,000 more Sanderson books to read. So,
at our pace,
no
there'll
problem.
be 100,000. So we'll be good. We'll be really good. Content for a long time.
Long time.
Well, you know, and I mean, it's been a blast getting to be on the journey with you, and I'm ready to go through it all again. You know, I'm being a current reader. It's really fun to relive these moments. I've been looking forward to where we're at right now for a long time, a lot longer than 4 months. This is great. So, good to be back, and just thanks for our listeners coming along the ride with us. Really appreciate that. Shout out moms. Moms. Yeah, thanks, moms. Shout out to all of our fans. We love giving shout outs. So, you know, it's been really great getting people reach out. Had fan Blake reach out to me the other day. Yeah, it was so good, dude. So I really appreciate you, Blake.
Hey, and thanks to a recent new follower, someone you're very close with, Lizzie.
Oh yeah, thanks, Lizzie. Hell yeah. Yeah, huge shout out.
You.
We appreciate it, Lizzie. Thanks for listening. Appreciate the support, of course, as always. And
as always,
yeah, man. Just and all the new followers that don't reach out. Thank you too. We appreciate it. Yep. I hope you're enjoying it. You're still listening, so cool.
Cool.
That's kind of rad.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's kind of rad.
Yep. So thanks everyone. We appreciate you, and we're excited to get reading. I'm excited to get reading. So on to 34 and 35, and I guess we'll just see you on the next time. What do you say?
Yeah. We'll see who's still staying alive.
Who's still alive?
Staying alive. Staying alive. Staying alive. Staying alive. Staying alive. Yeah. Deep cuts. No. All right.
Nope, that's going in. We're leaving that in. Love you guys. Bye.